Welcome back to Yehoshua's Daf Yomi Shiur, where the Daf continues daily until the complete revelation of Messiah, the son of David, Mashiach ben David. And we are looking at Tractate Chullin, page 65, Daf Samachay. Today, last line of 64b is, and still, the name here is different from those of other animals, in that the scribe splits it into two words, bat ya'ana, even though it is one species. And from the fact that the scribe splits it, and now we're on Samachay Amud Aleph, with the words betarti tevos, shmamina trei shemos ninu. Betarti tevos, shmamina trei shemos ninu. In two words, conclude from it that there are two names prohibiting the egg as well. This daf, this amud, this daf is the daf of Shabbat. It's interesting because it's talking about eggs. And someone told me a joke about an egg. It had to do with an egg. And it's interesting that the daf of the day mentions the very top of the daf talks about something to do with an egg being prohibited, as well as the particular animal in question. Okay. It's a bird. Bat Yan, I think it's talking about birds. Okay. I think so. I want to make sure that we were talking about a Bat Ya'ana, bringing different proofs from verses. Bird, yeah. The Ya'ana, and there's Bat Ya'ana, talked about in Job and Isaiah. Okay, let's continue. Elamiata es kadar le'omer tipasak lehu safra bitrei hachi nami bitrei shmei ninu amri asun b'shnei tevos psek lehu b'shnei shitin lo pasak lehu aval hacha pilu b'shnei shitin nami pasak lehu. The Gemara asks, if that is so, what about the name Kedar LaOmer in Genesis 14 verse 4? It's one of the four kings, the war of the four kings and the five kings, Kedar LaOmer, in which the scribe splits in two so that it appears as Kedar LaOmer. Is it also true that there are two names? Kedar LaOmer. Are they two names? The verse is clearly referring to only one person. They say in response there, with regard to Kedar LaOmer, the scribe splits the name into two words, but he may not split it into two lines, as if the first half nears the end of the one line. But here, he may split the name Bat Ya'ana even into two lines, indicating that they are completely separate. Aval amru chachamim kol of Tanya Rabban Gamliel Omer Dores v'ochel biyadua shehu tameh yesh lo etzba yisero v'zefek v'kar kevano niklaf biyadua shehu tohor. Rabbi Eliezer ורבי צדק אומר מותחין לא חוט של משיחה אם חולק את רגלו שתיים לכאן ושתיים לכאן טמא שלוש לכאן ויחס לכאן טהור. רבי שמעון בן אלעזר אומר כל עוף הכולת מן האוויר טמא. The Mishnah states, but the sages stated that any bird that claws its prey and eats it is non-kosher. It is taught in the Braita. Rabban Gamliel says a bird that claws its prey and eats it is certainly non-kosher. It has an extra digit. If it has an extra digit and a crop, and its gizzard can be peeled, it is certainly kosher. Rabbi Elazar son Rabbi Tzadok says one stretches a line and the bird perches on it. If it splits its feet on the line with two digits here and two there, it is non-kosher. If it places three digits here and one there, it is possibly kosher. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says any bird that catches food out of the air is non-kosher. Let's continue. Tziparta nami miklat kalta amar Abaye koiled ve'oichel gamri. The Gemara interjects, but the tziparta also catches food out of the air. It is kosher. Abaye said, we say this only for a bird that both catches and eats its food in the air. The tziparta lands before eating what it has caught. Acherim omrim shachen im tameim tamei im tahirim tahor. The Braita concludes, others say if a bird dwells with non-kosher birds, it is non-kosher. If it dwells with kosher birds, it is kosher. Keman ki Rabbi Eliezer d'Tanya Rabbi Eliezer Omer lo lechinam halach zarzil etzel oirev elo bnei shumino afilu tema rabanan shechen v'nidma kamrinan. The Gemara asks, in accordance with whose opinion is this last statement? Perhaps it is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, as it is taught in Braita. Rabbi Eliezer says it was not for naught that the zarzir went to dwell with the crow, but because it is of the same species. The Gemara rejects this. You may even say that the opinion introduced with the words others say is like that of the rabbis who disagree with Rabbi Eliezer and deem the zarzir kosher. The statement introduced with the words others say is introduced as follows. We say that a bird is non-kosher whenever it both dwells with a non-kosher bird and resembles it. The zarzir, though, does not resemble the crow. ובחגבים כל שיש לו כולמי רובו אמר רב יהודה מרב רוב אורכו ואמרי לה רוב היקפו אמר רב פאפא הילקח בעינן רוב אורכו בעינן רוב היקפו. The Mishnah states that with regard to grasshoppers, any grasshopper that has 4 legs and 4 wings and 2 additional jumping legs and whose wings cover most of his body is kosher. The Gemara asks, what is considered most of his body? Rav Yehuda said that Rav said most of its length, and some say that he said most of its circumference. Rav Papa said, therefore one must satisfy both versions of the statement to require that the wings cover most of its length, and we also require that they cover most of its circumference. Tanu Ravanan ein lo achshav yosi ligad elach azman כגון הזחל מותר רבי אלעזר ורבי יוסי אומר אשר לא חיריים אף על פי שאין לו עכשיו עתיד לגדל לך הזמן. מהי זחל? אמר אביי אסקרה. Sages on a bright grasshopper that has no wings now but will grow them after a time, and say the zachal is permitted. Rabbi Elazar, son of Rabbi Yossi, says, the verse states, yet these may you eat of all the winged soaring things that go upon all 4s, which have jointed legs above their feet, wherewith to leap upon the earth. Leviticus 11:21. The word lo is written with the letter aleph, meaning not, so that it can be understood as do not have jointed legs. This teaches that even though it has no jointed legs now, but will grow them after a time, it is still kosher. The Gemara asks, what is the zachal? Abaye said it is called askrin in Aramaic. Tanu Rabbanan esei lemehem toichlu es ha'arbe v'go arbe ze gavai salam ze rashon chargol ze nipul chagav ze nadian ma tamu למינהו למיnehu ארבע פעמים להביא ציפורס קרומים ויוחנה ירושלמיס והאר צוביה והרזבניס. The sages Tana Bright said that the verse states these of them you may eat the arbe after its kinds, and the solam after its kinds, the chargol after its kinds, and the chagav after its kinds. Leviticus 11:22. The arbe is the insect known as the govai, the solam is the rashon, the hargol is the nipul, the chagav is the gadyan. Why must the verse say after its kind, after its kinds, after its kinds, and after its kinds 4 times? It is to include 4 similar species: the vineyard bird, and the Jerusalem yochana, and the arutz via, and the ratzbanit, which are also kosher. Devei Rabbi Yishmael Tana, Elu klalos, Elu prate pratos, arbe zegovai, levino lehavi. And now to 65b, Tzipores Kolmin. The school of Rabbi Yishmael taught, these appearances of the phrase after its kind in the verse are generalizations, and these species mentioned explicitly are details. The verse must be understood in light of the previous verse, which offers general signs of a kosher grasshopper. These 2 verses together are a generalization and a detail and a generalization in the following manner. The first verse is a generalization. Arba is a detail referring to the species govai, and the phrase after its kind is another generalization. According to Rabbi Yishmael's hermeneutical principles, the second generalization serves to include a case similar to the detail. In this case, the phrase after its kind serves to include, now 65b on the top, the vineyard bird, which is similar to the arbe in that its forehead is not smooth but has small hairs. Alright, we'll stop here on the top of 65b.